Okay, let's look at Standard 16 Substandard B. Identify Henry Ford, mass production, and the automobile. So our elements here are Henry Ford, mass production, and impact of the automobile. Theme is trade, industry, and technology. So let's focus on Henry Ford. Henry Ford is going to not create the automobile. There were already automobiles, but in the 1890s and 1880s, automobiles were considered, luxury items for the rich. Henry Ford is going to mass produce the automobile and make it affordable for average Americans. He predicted that before he was finished, he was going to democratize the automobile and it'd be all over the United States, and he actually followed through on that promise and prediction. And he's going to use the assembly line to make this vehicle, the Model T, available all across the United States because average citizens are going to be able to afford it, and he's going to mass produce it using the assembly line. So the assembly line was a system of manufacturing in which all the worker had to do is stand in one place, and these conveyor belts or moving belts would bring the work to the worker, and all the workers would do one task standing in one spot. Before this efficiency in the assembly line, the workers had to actually go to the work and do the work there and to move around. Now with the assembly line, it brings the work to the worker, and they have these basic tasks in which they do individual tasks little by little as it goes along the line. It's going to make the work more efficient and quicker on this conveyor belt. They're going to specialize in different parts of production. The impact of this is that before the assembly line, it took 12.5 hours to create a vehicle. So the work time was that it took to make a car before the assembly line took 12.5 hours for one vehicle. By the time the assembly line is used by Henry Ford, a vehicle was made in 1.5 hours, an hour and a half to make a vehicle. By 1925, a Ford Model T was made every 10 seconds on the Ford Motor Company assembly line. Using mass production, Henry Ford's going to increase the supply of automobiles in the United States. And we talked about supply and demand before. But he's going to make them cheaper as the supply goes up. They're going to become cheaper, and many families are going to purchase the Model Ts and the Model As during this time period. And then the impact of this mass production, creating these mass lines of vehicles, is that in 1908, when the Model T first came out, the price was $850. By 1924, the price of the Model T is going to drop to $290 for a Model T. So average Americans are going to be able to afford this. So Americans all over the United States are going to have a Model T vehicle, and they come in different designs. Here's the 5-passenger touring car, fully equipped. 5 people could ride in this. And here's actually one in the Bainbridge Post Searchlight from January 13, 1916. Is a 5-passenger Ford Model T touring car that was being given away in a contest with the Bainbridge Post Searchlight, January 13, 1916. And here's actually a 1-ton Model T truck that was being sold in Bainbridge, Georgia, March 18, 1920 at the Bainbridge Motor Car Company here. And that was also in the Post Searchlight newspaper. Okay, so I think we've met this. Let's see, yeah, we've met this. Identify Henry Ford, we did. Mass production and the automobile. Any questions, ask them in class, raise your hand. Good luck on the quiz test and the EOCT.